Welcome back to my channel. The subject of discussion for today is structure of our universe, at least the way we see the universe. So, this is more of a recap of my video called Gnostic Genesis. Those who have ears, let them hear the one Z versus the many. I did not use voiceover for that video, so I wanted to elaborate on the same concept with voice now. Sit back, listen, relax, and enjoy the ride through ages or eons as they are called in terms of Apocryphon of John. I need to give a kind of an introduction to this. Why and how I came up with this design of the universe, my own design rather. So, the idea, the basic idea of 26 dimensions comes from string theory. String theory says there are 26 dimensions in all. So here I present the idea of 26 dimensions, how they are wrapped in each other, and I kind of clubbed the LOM model, layers of manifestation. It is called. It's a scientific model, and I clubbed the scientific model of LOM and the Hindu depiction of the universe, that of 14 lokas, with 7 patalas, underworlds, and 7 upper worlds, Earth being the eighth one. So, from English alphabet A to Z, there are 26 letters, and I don't think it's just a coincidence that there are 26 dimensions, consisting of 7 lower dimensions, 7 physical dimensions, and 12 more higher dimensions, stacked up one over the other, and we are in the 8th dimension of Earth and looking at the hologram of rest projected from Saturn. That is, if any of one of you is familiar with the matrix concept, uh, we are supposed to be players in what do you call, kind of a video game being played from Saturn. The matrix, it is called the Saturn matrix. That from Saturn, all these objects are projected as holograms, and we are nothing but a computer program written by this supposedly God. So this program is being run, and we are just mere players in that game. So, with that introduction, let me start how it all began. As I told you, there were only energy emanations to begin with in the beginning, right? There were only energy emanations. Later, they developed into yeah, I think here, I already shown you. In the beginning, there were only energy emanations called ions. And those ions start with A, the English alphabet A, which is nothing. As I have always been telling you, energy is always in the form of squares. So, unless it is bound by some other external force, like Yalbat bound the energy into matter, the three-dimensional matter. So even the three-dimensional matter is just an illusion and it's a hologram projected from Saturn. So the emanations started with letter A, that is 1 squared, which in Hindu terms it is called the Patala. So at the end of the presentation, I will show you which is which and how they are layered one by one. Okay. Now, so the evolution continued. The second energy emanation B, which is 2 squared, had of course 1 squared included in it. So it is called Rasatala in Hindu terminology, Hindu mythology. Coming to the third, C, represented by letter C, it is 3 squared, which of course envelopes the other two worlds, 1 squared and 2 squared. So this is called the Mahatala. Mahatala. Okay. Now, sorry, repeated. They repeated D. Now the fourth one, the fourth world is represented by the letter D, which is nothing but fourth square, fourth emanation, energy emanation. So this emanation is called Talatala in Hindu mythology. Now let us see how the fifth, what the fifth one is called. It is represented by letter E, and which is of course nothing but 5 squared, and it is called Sitala. Sitala is basically called the cool. In Sanskrit, Sitala means cool. So this world is the cold world, I think. Then F. The There is a visible change here from the sixth emanation. The sixth emanation is basically visible to us, though it is under the earth, and I mean below the earth's capacity. It is still visible to us. This is called Vitala in Hindu mythology. It is nothing but the planet Mercury. Now we come to the seventh emanation represented by letter G. It is called, excuse me, it is called Atala in Hindu mythology, which is nothing but the planet Venus. Now let us go to this eighth emanation. Eighth emanation is the letter H, which is nothing but the Bhuloka. It is called Bhuloka in Hindu mythology, of course, Earth in science. The ninth emanation, I, represented by I, is 9 squared, of course, is called Bhuvarloka in Hindu mythology, which is nothing but Mars. The 10th emanation is called, is of course represented by letter J, is called Swarga Loka in Hindu mythology, which is nothing but Jupiter. Coming to 11th, this guy is very, very critical evolution, and the first of the what do you call evil emanations. So this emanation represented by letter K is of course 11 squared, 11th emanation, and it is called Maharloka in Hindu mythology and known as Saturn in scientific terminology. Next comes the rather odd man out in this material world. The 12th emanation represented by letter L, is called Janaloka in basically Hindu mythology, which is nothing but the planet Uranus. The 13th emanation. This is the beginning of matter, in fact. M represents matter, matra, and mother also, because mother has its roots in matra of Latin, I think. So, Latin or is it Coptic? I don't remember. So, M represents matter basically. This is, you can say, the heroine of our story, in the sense she is the fallen Sophia. Anyway, so this emanation is called Tapaloka in Hindu mythology and known as Neptune in scientific world. Now comes the so the material world ends at 13th emanation. Now from the 14th emanation the heaven starts. The first of the 14th emanations is called represented by letter N, is the original Sophia, not the fallen one. Fallen one is, of course, M, the 13th one. The Sophias fell down, and from then on, the fall went down till the letter A, till the what do you call? Sophia took, this is M is fallen Sophia, and the worst fall of all is letter A, of course, which is nothing but this Patala. Patala is the worst fall of Sophia, and she is called Erishkigal in that Patala Loka. That Patal Loka is known as Erkala or Kur in Akkadian. So Erishkigal is the queen of A, B, C, D, E. Till E, these five lokas basically are under her control. Anyway, so I will show a slide describing the incident of Sophia going into underworld, visiting underworld later. So N is Sophia, not the fallen one. So O is, from now on, I am not really sure which ion can be mapped to which letter or the energy emanation here. So I tentatively picked these ions. So for O, the letter O, I picked the basically the Oriel. Oriel is basically the ion, one of the luminaries. So 15 square is I will show you how they were built up, and then the present world formed later. First, let me go through all the emanations first. Now, so P, the ion I associated with the letter P is the 16th emanation, in fact. So the 16th emanation is associated with perfection. It is just tentative, so don't go by that. It's not authentic. You see, being a guy from this mortal world, my knowledge ends at M13, the letter M13. That is the matter. So above 13, whatever we think is just our imagination, and I cannot guarantee any. I can't give you any proof. Okay. So, the 17th emanation, represented by letter Q, is perception. The 18th letter R, represented by letter R, is love. Basically, in my opinion, all the even letters are good ones, and the odd numbered ones, are definitely some more or less even. So S is the 19th emanation, is represented by letter S, and it is afterthought. Because why I called it afterthought is, as you know, S is a 19th letter. All these emanations after 10 can be represented as the fourth dimensional ones, and in the fourth dimension, the 119, as I told you, 119 is energy. Basically, atom of 121 splits into, becomes energy at 119. If 119 protons come together, they form a bundle of quanta, right? If you have watched any of my videos, then you will know about this. So 19 is more like the split energy. It becomes matter, becomes energy here, and thus it is very volatile. That's an afterthought. It's not well thought after thought. It is an afterthought. And T. Now, the 20th emanation is represented by letter T, and it represents peace, as per me, or dove, as we call. Generally, Inanna Isis is represented by dove also, but I don't think this is Inanna. But let me go through the emanations first. U. The 21st emanation is U, which is basically 21, is more like 121, the atom, which the quantum world, from here the quantum world starts, in the sense the memory, what we call the quality of human being called memory, starts is represented by letter U. Now, this 22nd emanation is represented by letter V, is grace. This is what I call Inanna. I'm sorry, Isis. Isis is very graceful, basically. She is the good one, but unfortunately, she was influenced by the bad guy. I will come to that later. The 23rd emanation is represented by letter W, which is reverse of matter M. Okay, so the 13th emanation. 13th emanation is nothing but the physical manifestation of the 23rd emanation W. Here everything went wrong. This letter is the beginning of the fall, actually, though being very high in rank, next only to 26, 25, 24. Only three more emanations are above this emanation, but yet this emanation, along with 25, was caused the fall of the gods, the heaven. Anyway, let me go to again. I think, yeah, 20. Uh, this is 20, basically 23rd is form, not idea, I think. I gave idea earlier, but it is form. Now we come to the basically the hero of the story. I said Sophia is the heroine of the story. which is nothing but 14. 14 meaning uh, Sophia. 14th emanation is Sophia. So 24th. As you can see, these numbers right from 10, whatever you have over 20, 10 and 20 are same, 11 and 21 are same, 12 and 22 are same. Basically, these emanations are physical manifestations of the higher emanations. I will show you that also later. So this is a guy, this is our hero, they represented by letter X, who is none other than Jesus Christ. So he represent his quality is of course truth. Next, the 25th emanation. It's a very controversial emanation. 25th emanation is supposed to be the mother. Basically, uh, if you think of 26 as God, then 25th will be mother, 24th being Christ. But here I doubt the mother herself had something to do with the whole fall of Sophia, because 25's projection, physical projection is 15, which is nothing but the letter O. O is in fact the Orion. Orion, I will show how Orion split and how he built the material world, how it all started. Let me finish with the emanations. So the final emanation, highest emanation is 26th emanation. It is represented by letter Z, and Z is nothing but idea. Uh, for lack of better uh, fitting quality, I gave this idea. As I told you, these are very tentative. I am not very sure, but Z is supposed to be idea, as the one is supposed to be the thinking. So idea, it all started with idea. Z, or the Z ion, which is the god of the Jews. Mostly when you say my Mount Zion, is nothing but Mount Zion, or Zion is nothing but the letter Z and ion clubbed together, Zion. So Zionists, or the Jews who believe in Zion. Zion is their heaven. So this is the heaven, the head of the heaven, at least as far as I know. And as you can see, the English alphabets end here. So Zion is the most we can which conceptualize so far. Excuse me. Now I will show you how the world was built and how it looks now, one by one slide. See, as you can see here, this was one of my from one of my earlier videos, in which I have described the formation of the planets one by one, how they formed. So, so far we have seen how Yalabad created 8 planets, According to Hindu mythology, there are five under earth worlds and seven heavens above the earth, making Neptune the 13th planet, which can be compared to fallen Sophia, and 14th planet would be Sophia. So 14 squared, that is 196, fell to 13 squared, that is 100 plus 69, 169. The white 96 flipped and became black 69, that is here. If you look at this figure, you can very easily understand what happened here. 1 being 1, 1 remains same. The 9 here became 6. The 6 here became 9. That is the literally a mirror image of 96. In the sense, Sophia, this is the abyss, this is the border between uh, heaven and material world, and 196 flipped and became 169. That's what I mean by that. And then, yeah, that's the next step. Sorry, it's not that one. Well, let me. Let me just play the video for you, because that content is not here, I think. So I will just play my video so that you can go through that once again. There is no voice here. So this was a video I was talking about. I wanted to provide a voiceover for this video. So 14 squared for falling into 13 squared, and here you may observe here M13 squared are and O, the last but one ion 15 squared. That is nothing but O. O is nothing but Orion. This Orion guy and the 13th emanation, that is Neptune, came together and gave birth to 5 cubes. 5 cubes are Aldebaran 5 cube, Sun 4 cube, Moon 3 cube, and Wind 2 cube, and Ether 1 cube. That is air actually. And anyway, basically 15 squared split into I have to show here something else. I think I owe you something else. Here, this is what I wanted to show you. This is not this one. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. This is pretty much a very scientific thing. This is pure math. In fact, here if you see 15 square, this is 15 square. 15 square can be expressed as 5 cube and plus 10 squared. That is, the sum of 5 cube and 10 squared gives you 15 squared. So that is basically Yalabath plus Divine Adam. And the one more thing I wanted to show you here. The 28 squared gives you 7 cube and 21 squared. 21 squared is nothing but the material world, 121, and 7 cube is supposed to be Christ. So in the beginning, these two all they two always go in pair. And similarly, 21 squared splits into 6 cube and 15 squared. So 15 squared is nothing but the one in the sense the Orion guy. 15 squared along with Christ was 21 square, performs 21 squared solid square. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that so that you will know the math behind that. So yeah, so she gave the 15 square and 13 square came together uh, to give birth to 5 cubes, namely 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube. So, and of these 5 cubes, again, 1 cube and 2 cube split off, and 5 cube, 4 cube, and 3 cube remained, meaning they formed basically. Let us continue with the video. The ions are presented in English letter alphabets A to Z in the Egyptian mythology. Ion A15 is Osiris. Let us go back and basically go read through. The ion 15 squared is known as Osiris or Orion. M, the 13th or is Mary or Isis, and the fallen Sophia, in fact, and H8 is Horus or Sun. In the pagan trinity, O is the father, O is basically Osiris, M is the Holy Ghost, Mary, and H is the Sun, very much similar sounding to Sun. If you go through the story of Nimrod, Nimrod is supposed to be the father, and he dies, and then Semiramis has son, Damus, and give me a second. Yeah, so it is similar, but the original Trinity, the pagan Trinity, is Osiris, Mary, and Horus. So Osiris or Orion is the 15th emanation, Mary is the fallen Sophia 13th emanation, and H is the 8th emanation, 8 squared, 64. That is Horus. And that is why there is always a conflict between the Son and Jesus. You know, whenever we talk of Jesus, when do we celebrate the birthday of Jesus? It is 25th December, which is nothing but the winter solstice. On 21st or so, on winter solstice, the sun dies, in the sense he has the least energy on that day, and on 25th he regains his energy. So that is why people celebrate 25th as Christmas. So what does it indicate? It indicates that whoever are worshipping, celebrating Christmas, they are worshipping none other than the sun itself, S-U-N, mind you, who is very much different from the letter X, who is represented by letter X. The letter X represents Jesus Christ, but that Jesus Christ is not the Son, S-U-N. That Jesus Christ is Son, S-O-N, of man. Okay, that I wanted to clarify long before, but I didn't get the proper occasion to do so. Anyway, now the Holy Ghost, yes, M is the Holy Ghost, H is the Son, S-U-N here. In Hindu mythology also, so yeah, basically, as I told you, the Yaldabaoth, sun, moon, and all these cubes formed, and five the Yaldabaoth, four the sun, three the moon have formed one cube again, bigger cube. That is nothing but six cube, the black cube, that is worshipped by many religions. So that is the Time Lord who created time, basically, the physical world. Also, same letters OHM represent the Genesis. In the sense, in Hindu mythology, surprisingly, this is a connection between Egyptian mythology and Hindu mythology, and I firmly think that the Hindu gods are nothing but the Egyptian gods. So Osiris, Horus, and Mary together, OHM, is the mantra of Hindus, Om, and it represents the Trinity, the pagan Trinity of Osiris, Mary, and Horus. Okay, now let us. I had to give voiceover because the earlier presentation slides are not available with me anymore. So, anyway, alphabet X or 24th ion represents Christ who takes human form to redeem Sophia from material world heaven. Yeah. Now, as I have described earlier, we have this English alphabets T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z represent the spiritual emanations or ions, that is in the energy form, and their corresponding material CGGs. So I told you about CGGs, the twins or their spouses, something like that. The CGGs are JKLMNOP. That is, for the energy emanation T, that is goddess T, the earthly physical manifestation is J. For U, it is K. For V, it is L. For W, it is M. For X, it is N. For Y, it is O. For Z, it is P. So now we can clearly see how Christ is associated with the Sophia. Christ is X, and X physical manifestation is Sophia N. Okay. Anyway, so thus the Jewish Trinity of Yahweh. Yahweh is represented by letters YHW, are nothing but the spiritual ions representing the material counterparts of OHM again, right? So if you carefully observe what is Y is O, Y's CGG is O. W, what is WCGG? WCGG is M, the letter M, physical manifestation of W. And what is the third one? H, of course. the H1 is basically, it's not Christ here, it is basically the sun, SUN. The fifth, as just now I explained how 15 and 13 came together and gave birth to the sun, right? Sun and the rest of the cubes. I think I have the slide here. I will show the slide again. Excuse me for taking long. It is basically long before I prepared these slides, so it is a bit difficult for me to here 14 square human evolution. In the beginning there are emanations, there is the 14th, this thing, so if you have held to this matter, yeah, this is a formula according to which he made the planets, but that's not what I'm looking for here now. Yeah, here I have shown this even earlier, I think. 15 squared is divided into, is nothing but 225. So mathematically it can be expressed as sum of cubes of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this split into this, and yeah, I think I may have removed that slide. So let us go back to the video here. Yeah. So that's what happened. These are basically CGGs of the emanations. In the beginning, there was only one God represented by letter Z in the form of squared energy emanation 26 squared. He created 12 more for Christ, and I think this is how this already I have shown you these slides, I think, including the locus. I have already shown you, and this is not necessary, I think. Yeah, we will stop at I think 14, because 14 is where, yeah, in 1 weak movement Sophia fell to 13 square position M and gave birth to Yaldabaoth, along with whom the Orion guy. Orion is 15 squared, of course. 15 squared is projection of Y, the 25th emanation. So let us go through this from here. Probably I may have explained how it was split. I'm sorry, it is a bit unconventional, but I didn't provide voiceover for this video, so I thought it would make more sense if I provide voice. Yeah, so 1 squared. This is the last emanation. So Yaldabaoth, who had all his mother's M's power along with sun, moon, created material planets. How he created, let us see now. So this is the formula according to which he created the planets. Yaldabaoth 5 cube, sun 4 cube, moon 3 cube, total up to 216, which is who is called Mahakala, the Time Lord. And this Time Lord provided energy, split his energy into two. I explained about this, why I took 2 for Mercury, because Matter needs stability, and energy emanations are themselves by themselves are not stable. So they have to reach the next stable configuration. So one squared is not stable. If it is like that, it will dissipate. It will become energy. So it added one more to it, and 1 squared plus 1 became 2 helium. In the periodic table, if you check the elements, hydrogen is not stable, helium is most very stable. So they went on looking for the stability, and in the stability, 2 was the stable one after 1 square. So he took 2 for Mercury, 6 following the same logic. He gave 6 to Venus, 10 to Earth, 18 to Mars, and 26 to Jupiter, 38 to Saturn, 50 to Uranus, 66 to Neptune, and formed the planets one by one. So let's see, it's a bit slow, I think. Yeah, Mercury formed from 1 squared. 1 squared plus 1 is 2, Mercury. Then next came Venus. 2 squared plus 2 is the stable figure is 2, 6. So these are all basically one another. The Earth 3 is 3 squared plus 1, 10. Earth formed. Then came Mars, 4 squared plus 2, 4, 18. These are like concentric circles with Earth at the, Mercury, at let us say Venus and Mercury are below Earth, but Earth-centric concentric circles these are. So this is the 6th squared Saturn, 7th squared is Venus, Uranus, 7 squared plus 1. Next stable element 50. Neptune is 8 squared plus 8 squared plus 2. Here it is showing us plus 1. It is wrong. 8 squared plus 2 is 66. That is Neptune. So here again, this is how the Mahakala basically, why the Yaldabaoth loves the number 3 is because he is split into 3 parts. One is the red one here is Betelgeuse, this one is Sun, this one is Moon. So he is split into 3 parts. So 3 is very important number for all the what do you call those who worship Pentad, the Yaldabaoth basically. So Yaldabaoth's number is 3 because of this. He himself is this one is Yaldabaoth, this one is Sun, this one is Moon, and all these 3 together form the trinity that controls the material world up to Neptune. Now let us continue. This is how he formed the material world, and of course this comes to an end 196 and 169. That is the concept from where I started. Thus the next step of human evolution is to reach the 9th planet and establish connection to heaven forever. I have so let us go back to our slides now. Yeah. So in the yesterday slide, also I have shown you how it was made, but I will show you once again how the Hindu lokas look and how I came up with my own. This is how the Hindu lokas look. This is where we are. This is the basically our world. This world is our world. This is Mount Meru. This is moon. This is sun. This is basically this is where we are. We see the universe like from here. There are 7 lokas below Earth, as I have already shown you the emanations. While showing the emanations squares, there are 7 under earth worlds called these Patala lokas and below earth worlds. And the peak of Mount Meru ends up in heaven. Heaven starts from here, and there are 6 layers of heaven. So these are the peak of this heaven ends up in Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Satyaloka is nothing but the even this also you can see here. They say this is the shell of Brahma's egg. Atala starts with the under earth worlds Atala, Vitala, Nitala, Gabastiman, Mahakya, Satala, Patala, Burloka. Burloka is nothing but earth. Buloka. This is Bhuvarloka, Swarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. So Satyaloka is where the our guy, this guy, what's his name? Sophia starts. So Sophia lives in Satyaloka. So basically, this is a model, scientific model, proven scientific model on which I based my design of the universe. So there are around 7 worlds here, which in my opinion, I will show you one more slide, I think. Yeah. To make it more interesting, I have picked up one story from the Akkadian mythology. That is, those who are familiar with our Egyptians, and Sumerians, basically Sumerian mythology. They will know this. They will recognize immediately. So there is one character called Isis in Egyptian mythology, who is nothing but none other than Mary of the Holy Trinity, pagan Holy Trinity of Osiris, Mary, and Horus. And there are many parallels to the story of Sophia. Why I remember that is because Sophia character has so many parallels in history. In each area, she is called by a different name. She is known as sometimes known as Semiramis, the wife of Nimrod. Nimrod dies, and Semiramis has a son. Again, Demus, and later he becomes his lover. So it's a horrible story, but yet they say even the story of Osiris. Osiris is killed by Seth in this story, and he is cut into 14 parts and strewn all over. She could get 13 parts together, but the 14th part was not. She could not find, so she made a male organ out of gold, and she impregnated herself. Well, it sounds ridiculous now, scientifically, but in the primordial times, things were possible. I don't know. I don't corroborate, but the thing is, The story goes she impregnated herself with the golden uh, mm, organ, male organ, and the result was son. Basically, son was born. The sun, son, the Jesus of the pagan Trinity. So, that is why. But later they say. Uh, she became a lover of sun again. So this is you see, my intention is not to insult or anyone or anything. I'm just reporting history here. That it is said is in case of especially in the case of Semiramis, it is definitely said that she loved the Nimrod, but Nimrod dies. But after death of Nimrod, she got pregnant and delivered Damos, and after that, she became a lover of Damos. That's a well-known story. But let us not. It gets really very weird once you go through these mythologies. We don't know how far they are true, so let us not bother about them. I just want why I just remember this is Isis or Sophia has so many parallels in different mythologies. So these are few of the parallels. Semiramis is one of them. Inanna, who is known as Durga in India, and of course Isis, the wife of Osiris. The interesting incident of Inanna's visit to underground clearly corroborates the fact that there are indeed 7 underworlds, underlokas. So Erishkigal is supposed to be Inanna's sister, elder sister. She is the queen of underworld, or which is known as Erkula. Erkula or Kur is she is the elder sister of Inanna. When Inanna visits underworld, she is asked to remove one of the clothing or jewelry at each of the 7 gates. Mind you, 7 gates, meaning there are 7 layers of hell as depicted in Hindu mythology. That is why I say this is more or less very authentic, at least as per the what do you call the Hindu mythology. So my model of universe, I came up with this. As I have told you, this is basically the Patala Lokas. This is this portion is Earth, and this is where we have sun and moon, and this is the Swarga. This is the topmost peak is Brahmaloka. So that ends up where, if you carefully look, this peak will end in heaven here. In the sense, this peak is nothing but fallen Sophia. So this is where the material world meets the spiritual world. This is fallen Sophia, and above her, of course, there are 12 more ions till the one, as I have already in the very beginning of the video, I have shown all the emanation to A to Z. So this is Z, the highest of the emanations, and the heaven starts with Sophia. Fallen Sophia is 13, Sophia is 14, and you go on till 26. So this is how the our universe. This is a very small part of the universe. This is the universe projected to us. It's a hologram projected to us from Saturn here. So that's I think complete story. So if you like the video, let me know. If you have any comments, please share your opinion. So from A to Z, That's the story. Yeah, let us meet some other time with some other subject. For now, it's ciao. Keep smiling.